All right, if you're a veteran dealing with sleep apnea, or you even think you might have it, you need to listen to this. The VA is on the verge of completely overhauling the rules for disability ratings, and, well, the clock is ticking to act under the system we all know.
And I want to be clear, this isn't some minor adjustment. We're talking about a total rewrite of the law. The VA is tearing up the old rulebook, and that could have a huge impact on your benefits. Your window to act under the old rules is closing, and it's closing fast.
Let's put a fine point on it. By the end of December 2025, the system that's been in place for years is gone, for good. This is a whole new playbook, and it's absolutely critical that you understand what's in it. So, to really grasp how big this change is, we first have to talk about how things work right now. Let's do a quick breakdown of the current system, the one that so many veterans have relied on.
You see, under the rules we have today, the path has been pretty straightforward. For countless veterans, getting that sleep apnea diagnosis and then a prescription for a CPAP machine, well, that was basically the golden ticket to a 50% disability rating. This is what everyone calls the CPAP shortcut, and it's written right into the VA's regulations. The logic has always been simple. If your condition requires a breathing device, you automatically qualify for a 50% rating. That single rule is the reason so many claims are successful today, and it's the exact thing that's about to vanish. So, what's taking its place? Well, the VA is completely flipping the script. It's no longer going to be about just having a device. The new focus is all about how effective that device actually is at treating your symptoms. The VA's official line is that the old rule was outdated and they want ratings to reflect your quality of life, not just a prescription. Think of it like this. The old math was easy. CPAP prescription equaled a 50% rating. Simple. Now, that's gone. The new equation is all about treatment effectiveness. And here's the kicker. This means if your CPAP is working well and controlling your symptoms, you could actually get a much lower rating. So you're probably wondering, how in the world does the VA determine effectiveness? Well, the answer is right there, as determined by a sleep study. Your personal account of your symptoms, what you tell the doctor, it's not going to be enough anymore. The VA wants hard, objective data from a medical test.
And here's what that new rating scale looks like. You could get 0% if the treatment works perfectly and you're asymptomatic. You might get 10% for what they call incomplete relief, but you'll need that sleep study to prove it. The 50 and 100% ratings, those are now reserved only for cases where treatment is proven to be ineffective, with that top rating requiring pretty severe consequences like end organ damage. This really drives the point home. The power is shifting completely to the medical evidence and the formal opinion of a qualified provider. Your own experience of your condition still matters, of course, but only if it's backed up by the kind of data the VA is now demanding. Let's dig into that phrase, treatment ineffective, because this is the new gateway to a 50% rating. It means one of two things. Either, number one, a sleep study proves your CPAP isn't actually fixing the problem, or, number two, you physically cannot use the treatment because of another diagnosed medical condition. And we're not talking about just any condition here. The VA is looking for very specific issues that make it impossible for you to use the treatment. We're talking about things like a skin condition like contact dermatitis from the mask, or severe PTSD that triggers claustrophobia, or even a physical problem like a past facial disfigurement. Okay, we've gone through all the new rules. Now for the most important part of this whole conversation. What does this actually mean for you? Because how you need to respond really depends on your specific situation. This is the question on every veteran's mind right now, isn't it? Is this going to affect me? Is my current rating in danger? Let's break that down because the answer is different depending on where you are in the process. Okay, here's the bottom line. If you are already rated for sleep apnea, take a breath. Your current rating is protected by something called the grandfather clause. But, and this is a huge but, if you file for an increase after the deadline, you are opening yourself up to a reevaluation under these brand new, much stricter rules. And if you're filing a totally new claim, the clock is absolutely ticking to get that claim in so it can be judged by the old, more favorable system. All right, we have laid out the problem in pretty stark terms. Now, let's shift gears and talk about the solution. Here is a clear, strategic game plan you can use to protect your benefits. Here's your 3-step action plan. First, if you're even thinking about filing, you need to do it now, before that December 2025 deadline, to lock in the old rules. Second, document absolutely everything. Lay statements about how fatigue impacts your life, any records of side effects from your treatment, all of it. And third, if you're already rated, be very, very careful about filing for an increase. Seriously, as the saying goes, don't poke the bear. And just to be extra clear on that protection, let's talk about the grandfather clause. It's a specific VA rule that says the VA can't just lower your rating because they decided to change how they rate things. It's your shield. But remember, that shield only protects you if you don't ask them to reevaluate your case. I feel like I can't say this enough, so I'm going to say it one more time. The deadline is locked in. The end of December 2025 is your last chance to have a sleep apnea claim judged under the old system. After that date, the CPAP shortcut is gone forever. And that really brings us to the new reality we're all facing. The VA is fundamentally changing its definition of disability for sleep apnea. It's shifting from a simple prescription to the real, day-to-day impact on your life. So the final question is, are you prepared to prove that impact? Because under this new system, that's exactly what you're going to have to do.